The problem management objective is to ensure we are identifying the root cause. So it could be a scenario as we spoke about it, like, we've been observing a lot of incidents in a particular time period, or there may be a major incident, and the incident is keep on reopening for some reason. So we need to make sure, like, we need to identify the root cause behind it, why this behavior is coming up. So to ensure we have a root cause identified, okay, the regular incident management is not suffice, right? If you look into 2005 and 2006, there are there are situations wherein I've been implemented multiple projects. So the difference between incident management and problem management is one single field. Okay, here if you look into this particular incident management, okay, so companies used to follow the same life cycle for even for a problem management. Okay, the only differentiator they used to maintain on the incident, is here there is a field called process type. Is it an incident or a problem? The numbering system and then life cycle, okay, and then the other subsequent steps that need to be captured. Everything is same. Okay, the way we are following incident process, but do you think if there is any critical problem, does it go through the same life cycle? What incident is going through? No, right? So if it is a problem, because problem is not looking at immediate service restoration, whereas incident process is always, intended towards restoring the immediate problem. Okay, I mean immediate issue. Okay, immediate service interruption. If there is a service interruption, that need to be immediately restored. Whereas problem management is not like that. Okay, the problem management focuses to make sure, like, we are identifying the root cause. Okay, this life cycle is not enough. We need a separate process to follow, to ensure, like, we have a proper root cause or a workaround is in place. Okay, so as part of problem process, we will be talking about the life cycle of the problem, and then within the service now, how the form looks like for a problem, and what are the various sources of a problem generation, and then key properties that would help you to drive problem behavior. And of course, activity configuration is something that we looked at. And similarly, the priority lookup and inbound email action is something that we talked about incident process. They are same. Okay. So moving on to the topic, like we have incident, the problem process is also tightly integrated with incident process, change process, and release process, CMDB, knowledge management. Okay. But if you look into this one, it is unlikely, tightly integrated with any service portal behavior. You can see there is a service catalog and request management is dying there. It will be implemented only on demand, but in general, the problems will not be initiated by end users. Okay, ideally, the problems, if your organization insists that, like, an end user also can initiate a problem, and this is the place where you will be coming in and then creating new catalog. We will talk about, like, what kind of catalog that need to be built in the subsequent topic, probably like day after tomorrow. Okay, so that's really interesting topic. So we will talk in a separate module. Okay, so these are various touch points. We will check this in service now about these touch points. And the life cycle of the problem is, the problem will be initially detected either through the major incident or proactively, and then it will go through the investigation and diagnosis. This is where, like, you will be identifying the root cause analysis, identify the fix and implement it. Okay, and prepare proper documentation for sharing with your clients, and then close that. Whenever we are closing it, it could be a fix implementation or it could be a change implementation. We will talk about it. And the high level look and feel of problem looks like this. We will have a problem number. Okay, and then you will be capturing the problem statement and subsequent RCA analysis and all that will be analyzed in the analysis section. Okay, and problem lifecycle will be new, and then it will be assessed, root cause identified, fix implemented, resolved. Okay, then auto closed. This is a key topic in problem process. As I said, the problem can be proactive in nature or reactive. assuming that there is a major incident occurred in your system. If there is any major incident, then through that incident you are creating a problem that would be treated as a reactive problem. But your manager is always have access to go through some of the reports, key reports, dashboards. So those are the inputs for your new problem. Then there is nothing happen in the system. There is no service, restoration issue. But you are observing that this trend could cause a major disruption. For example, let us say you are having 10 resources, and then the amount of incidents that are coming through are like regularly some 10 incidents on a regular basis. So 10 incidents, 10 resources, yeah, they will be able to make sure like they'll able to, oh, what if like 20 incidents all of a sudden come up? Your 10 resources would not be sufficient to complete it, right? So, but if you're looking into reports, it is stating that at certain point in time, you may come across and then visualize more number of tickets would be flowing into the system. There is something happening in the system. That is the reason. You need to identify the root cause. What is it leading to? So then it will be proactive based on the reports, dashboards, and XYZ. Okay, so the difference between reactive and proactive is reactive always, reactive problem always will be triggered based on something, and proactive is not necessary to be triggered based on something. But for you, evidence is your reports and dashboards. Activity that we learn how to configure the activity. Even in the problem also, we will ensure every single bit of element is tracked. And if you want to see any specific elements to be visualized, you can add that fields. And when it comes to the problem prioritization is slightly different. Okay, when we compare with incident process. So incident process is highly defined based on your impact and urgency, whereas the problem priority will be defined based on impact and urgency. But it is all up to the companies whether they want to have various levels of priorities like P1, P2, P3, P4 like incident, or they may have P1, P2, P3. Okay, but predominantly in majority of the implementations, for the problem, clients are not actually having 4 layers of priority, but highly like they were using like 3 levels of priority. But system is having flexibility to ensure whatever the level you wanted. Okay, because it's all configurable. In this case, if you see, priority one, okay, P1, P2, P3, and P4. Even there is a planning also. But as last time, like we spoke about it, right? Clients do not follow the planning session. So if you want to remove, even you can make it P4 also. Okay, but these are all need to be discussed in the initial workshop, and then you need to configure it according to the requirement. Okay, this inbound email workflow we will talk about. Assignment data lookup, we know that, right? If there is anything need to be auto assigned, we can use this at auto assignment, and we can configure the lookup. Okay, so that we don't have to be exposing like all the fields. So better you create a new view for any table like you wish to align with your reference field. This is how you will be doing. Okay, now if you understand incident process, problem process is not so tough, but the key life cycle is need to be on top of your mind. Okay, now let's come into the tool. How do we create a problem? As I said, there are two types of problem processes. One is reactive problem and the other one is proactive problem, right? Reactive problem always will be triggered based on something. Now let's say there is a P1 incident. Here you have a P1 incident, and that P1 incident according to your process would need to be executed through problem process. Okay, you need to identify why this P1 has come. Okay, so while you are following major incident process, but you still need to go through your problem process. Go to this problem, and then here you have a problem and create a new problem from here. Okay, create a new problem from here. This is a reactive problem creation. Okay, now I'm creating from here, and now it is first reported by the current one. Anyway, leave this problem statement, reactive problem request. Okay, I'm giving Step one, any additional details. Step two, something like this. Okay, and submit. I initiated a problem ticket. This is the problem ticket that I just initiated for investigation. Okay, now this is my problem ticket number and it is auto come up because I created from this placeholder and save it. Now, how do we create a proactive problem? Proactive problem, you know what it does is, okay, ideally it will go down to your reports and dashboards. Okay, now if I go down to my initial page, I do not have anything. Let's open dashboards. Okay, and open any dashboard. Or as you can open ITL dashboard. So these dashboards will give you some level of insight stating that like, something is happening. Okay. So some issue is come up. So looking at these reports and dashboards, we will be able to derive some issues. Okay. For example, let's say go to incident management, come down here, major incidents, incident properties, incident communication. Move on. Taking time to open it up. You can see like, you have all these reports. Okay, so these are all reports. There are unassigned 29 incidents, overdue 12 incidents, incidents not updated 7. Okay, you want to identify why there are 29 incidents are, unassigned. Okay, and incidents are older than 30 days. Why this huge number? You want to trigger a problem based on this particular record. You want like, somebody to investigate why these incidents like, taking more than 12 days. Why there are 12 incidents like, more than 12 days. So you want to trigger some issue, or you may be thinking that like, open incident volume is going up more than 67. Okay, and there is a projected disruption. So we need to fix this issue. So how do you do that? Let's go to your problem. This is the module dedicated for problem. So you can create a proactive problem from here. You can create a proactive problem. So here, when you click on this one, the problem form will open up. This is the problem form. And you want to report based on a change or based on a problem or based on some other request that is title here. You can select it. Okay. It is reported by something, or then, you can select that particular request number. And if not, you leave it. That's fine. Okay. But you can select if it is reported by something. Okay. Now, what is the problem category? This is related to the software. Okay. Then the subcategory will come up. Is it related to the operating system or some other thing? If it is a hardware, you can select the respective related issues, CPUs or whatever. Now you provide the statement proactive problem process. Okay. Step one, step two, exercise. Now save. If you look into either reactive problem or proactive problem, life cycle is same. Okay. Now earlier we created 4001 or 4002. The life cycle, both the requests do follow is remain same. No issue. Okay. Only thing, the source does matter. The previous one is backed up by a major incident, and this incident is backed up by, reports. Okay, based on the dashboard, you felt like, there is some issue probably coming up. You are trying to initiate a problem process. Okay, now let's go step by step in the life cycle. When problem created, it will be in the new status. It will be in the initially new status, and then you will have to provide additional details if you wish. This is the activity tracker that we talked about. And if you want to add additional fields, you can come down and then add your additional fields like we did it for incident process. Now, when you are creating a problem, and you can relate any other incidents if you want to add as an evidence. Okay. Now we are saying too many proactive problem process to identify RCA for too many open tickets. Okay, too many open tickets. So this is the reason why we are creating this problem. Now go down and you want to relate those incidents. Okay, click on add. You select all the incidents here, all the incidents that you think. We are talking about open incidents, right? So then ideally, they will not be resolved. Filter out. And you are doing it for a hardware category. Okay, filter out that hardware category or for your identification. And category is equal to hardware, then run. Okay. So you have so many hardware cases. Select all, add selected. This will be relating all the incidents to your problem. These are the incidents which are, you know, re, probably going to cause some disruption. Okay, because you're not going to work on anything, but you are attaching that as an evidence. Okay, now you have added. If there is any CIs that you think probably causing an issue, you can select those CIs for your analysis. Okay, whoever is working on this particular problem, they will have all these deals in hand and they can analyze it. I'm just attaching it. This could be a CI. To ensure your problem, now you are having this as a hardware issue, right? Your problem manager, whoever is assigned to this particular problem, okay, a problem management team, add that problem solving team or a problem. Okay, let's usually we will have a new group called problem management. But anyway, this is out of the box. So now this problem solving team, they felt it is a hardware issue, but they are thinking there are various parties should do detailed analysis for these issues. When you look into these issues, they probably have realized some of them could be a network. Okay, some of them could be a hard disk or some of them could be something else. So according to that, what they do is they will engage multiple parties through individual tasks. You can do that in incident management also. What kind of task it is? Is it a root cause analysis task or it is a general task? Okay, let's say if it is a general, for example, you clear off all your file system. If it is a general one, you please send us this report. They don't do the root cause analysis, but you will be asking them to provide some details. Okay, so you can say that is it a general one or it is a root cause analysis one. So let's say it's a general task example. Okay, you are asking some other team. Okay, maybe some other team like okay help desk team. Please provide some additional historical information. Okay, so that's what you are asking. So they'll just provide it then close. They'll not be performing any root cause analysis. Maybe you're probably going to ask network team to do some level of root cause analysis. Okay. At certain point in time, there is a pile of tickets coming up. Please analyze. Please analyze following tickets from the network standpoint. Okay. From your standpoint, just analyze and then provide us your analysis. Okay. Now this guy's network team will be doing this. And you will also engage hardware team to work on some elements. This will be root cause analysis. Okay. Please vote the problem and compile end-to-end analysis. So you are saying this to hardware team. You're engaging hardware team. Okay. Now submitted. So the problem has completing. You will have to do all that in your initial phase, in your initial new phase. There are companies they do also call draft. That is fine. So before you are pushing it to the assessment for the problem management to assess it, whoever is creating this particular problem record, either it could be a reactive or it could be a proactive. They should fill in all these details. They should fill in all these details and then they should push it to assessment phase. Now you understood, right? You have to add all the required information in the problem. Then you have to send it for assessment. In the assessment phase, see, this is saying like, you are asking somebody to assess, assign to should be mandate. Okay. Just add, assign it to problem administrator. Okay. I'm assigning to problem administrator or a problem coordinator, whoever it is. Now the request has been progressed to assessment phase. What happens? Every problem is not necessarily to be a valid problem. Sometimes like you will include multiple problem records and they will be rejected by problem solving team, making sure like this is not a valid problem. Okay. If they think that like this is not a valid problem, they will not be accepting it. Okay, they will be making it as a duplicate. Maybe some people like they're already working on it, they'll duplicate it or they may cancel it. And if they think like this is a valid problem, then they do confirm. Okay, which means like it will become a valid problem. Until this place, it is a just a proposal. Until the assessment is completed, it will be in the new status, and this is a a prospective problem. It's not a problem yet. Only if the problem management confirm, yes, this is a valid problem, then it will be moving into the root cause analysis and the respective teams will be start working on it. Okay, you have assigned multiple people through the problem task, right? So those people like they will be working on this task and they will complete their analysis. Okay, now these guys, okay, so first time hard disk team or help desk team, so they will assign this ticket to themselves. Okay, there's no individual in this. Okay, fine. They will assign it to themselves and they'll fill in all the details. Email required input. Okay, we extracted logs from the desired system shared by email. You also can attach if there is a file. Okay, now they, if there is no individual, let's create one. Okay, now they'll start work on it. Okay, and complete it. Okay, so they completed this task number 1. Now go back to the problem. So the first task is successfully completed and then second task will be coming into the picture. Now they'll also pick up, the network guy will pick up this one. There is no network user as well. Network admin. I'm creating, but in reality you will have all these users. Okay. Now network admin will be assessing it. Yeah, and I'll start work on it. I'll provide my root cause analysis. Okay, I'll provide my root cause analysis test. Okay, cause notes. This is a hardware issue. We verified all channels and there is no place in the network. And proposed fix if there is anything, just in case they'll provide. If there is anything, they will provide. So, and they will complete it. So network team also completed in, root cause analysis. So the task is completed. Now hardware team. Okay. Reason is like, these users need to have, these groups need to be part of problem team. Okay. Hardware engineer. And they will assess it. Okay. And they will also fix it if there is anything need to be fixed. And now complete. They completed it. So all the tasks, they're supposed to be executed as part of this problem process, and they have completed at their level. Okay, now this is still in progress. Okay, it is saying there is another cause code. Okay, cause code hardware issue. So hardware issue updated. Closed. Now come here. Well, this is also closed. So now the root cause analysis is completed. Okay, now you have to produce your root cause at problem level. Okay, this is hardware issue until we replace required hardware component. We have to restart machine whenever there is a problem, which means like, hardware failure. Okay, so what this problem statement is saying, there is a hardware issue. Okay, you need to replace it. If you have not replaced it, you will have to recycle it until you have, having this problem solved. Okay, to fix it, please replace hardware component. If you want to replace some component, then it has to go through change process. We will talk about change process in the change module. Now, any other details? Okay, if you have, you will have to furnish. Now you have provided all that stuff. Okay, analysis and everything is in place. This will take down to fix, wherein you will have to fill in fix notes. Okay, you have to provide in fix notes. Okay, you have provided fix, and now see, ideally the problem output in this case has come up with hardware change. You need to go through the change, but you are trying to survive with your, workaround. For a moment, you are trying to survive with workaround. Okay, so there may be some risk involved, like, if all of a sudden if hardware is completely damaged and you may be, left over with no backup plan. So there is some kind of a risk involved. In that case, if you have to accept the risk, you have to accept it. You have to accept that particular risk. Okay, no, you are not satisfied with your problem process or problem root cause analysis, then you can ask them to reanalyze. It will take down to the root cause analysis and section again. They will reanalyze it. And if you are satisfied with the problem process, then you will click on resolve. You will resolve this problem. Okay. As a administrator, you have these options. Whatever you want to do, you can do that. Okay, assuming that I'm not happy with the root cause analysis, so what I will do, I will ask them to reanalyze this problem. So this goes back to root cause analysis. Okay, now again you'll have to fill in all the details. Okay, make sure every single thing is rechecked. If this is, because at problem level I was asking to reanalyze. Maybe you wanted to ask your problem, hardware team to reassess it. They can reassess it. And they can reassess it, and they'll make sure everything is done, and then they will resubmit this completion. Then you will be able to say that, yeah, everything is good. Then you will go to the fix process, and you have to accept this risk. Okay, if there is any risk involved, you have to accept that risk. In this particular scenario, you may be trying to say this is a risk accepted reason. Okay, currently we do not have enough funding, not have enough funding. In the Q4, we will receive budget and then replace. Okay, then we will replace it. Okay, so this is how we are accepting it. They accept the risk. Okay, once risk accepted, so you can see the problem is automatically closed, or you can go through manually also. Now, even in this case also you're not happy, you can go for reanalyze. That will take down to root cause analysis. Okay, implement the fix. Okay, fix is implemented, and then you can manually resolve it. So once this is resolved, it will stay in the resolution process and you can manually complete it. Okay, if you have accepted the risk, it will be auto closed. Okay, so this is how the problem life cycle will be different from your incident life cycle. Now, in the incident, as we know that the objective of incident process is to restore the problem. Okay, I mean, when I said let's not get confused by the statement called problem. So if there is any service interruption, so incident management focuses to restore that particular service issue. Okay, or any service disruption, reasons. Wherein problem management focuses highly on root cause analysis. So the key focus area is root cause analysis. Okay, with this, are you clear about what is the problem, how problem will be initiated,
Yes, sir.
what are the different types of problems, what is the problem life
Uh-huh.
cycle? Okay, how do we
Yes, sir.
engage respective problem, coordinators? Okay, how do we ensure like they're all attached, and they how do we interlock with various other channels? We talked about various touch points, right? Knowledge, configuration item, change, incident, release. So these are the areas. You have change, you have knowledge, you have configuration management, you have incident management process. So through various ways you will be having touch point with the problem. Okay. Now this is the end-to-end problem life cycle. Any questions? Hemant,
No, nothing from my end. I'm clear.
Chaitanya, any questions?
No, sir.
Supara? Are you clear?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Rani?
Yes, sir. That's clear.
Okay. So
Sir,